few months ago, Pastor Stephen Wilson had the privilege of leaving these shores to go to somewhere different for just a few weeks. The place was hot. The place was busy. The place was joyful. And you went to?
I went to Villahermosa in southern Mexico. It was hot. And yes, it was hot. But it was very good. I went as part of a ShareHim mission group. There were about 250 young people from all over the world, mainly Europe and Australia. And these are countries and places of the world that don't normally send out missionary groups as often as the United States, for example. And so we were part of this special trip. I spent my time with groups from the North England Conference. There was New Zealand, Switzerland, everywhere. It was very interesting. There was a couple of countries only represented by one. And it feels like a special club.
So why did you go?
Why did I go? Well, for me, I enjoy sharing the gospel. And it's a little bit different sharing the gospel here. We have to be sometimes tactful and sometimes patient. And there's just a freedom and a joy of being able to say everything you want and just let it all come out. And so that was what I looked forward to, a 16-day evangelistic series, being able to go through all of the doctrines of the church in a really grace-orientated way and just enjoying preaching every night and getting into that rhythm of evangelism.
So you had your sermon notes, you had your PowerPoint, and was it in a tent, was it in a church, was it in a building? How many people were there each night?
Well, the way that ShareHim works is they send you to smaller local churches where the churches already do evangelism. And so they have this rhythm that they do 3 or 4 evangelistic series every year. So I was in medium size. I had about 70 members in the church I was at. It was being built but never finished, because every time they would get to the next stage of building, they would decide to plant a new church. So there was one of our group was in the street. They basically set up a projector in the middle of the street because it was a brand new church. But we all had, small churches in rural, quiet areas. And we spent those 2 weeks getting to know the church just as much as we were sharing the messages.
So ShareHim is a global evangelistic movement of people who go to another country to share the gospel with holy boldness and confidence, and then come home and share Jesus where they grew up.
Yeah. The most important part is the coming home, because if you know anything about southern Mexico, is that there are a lot of Adventists there already. You are not winning the world by going to southern Mexico, but what you are doing is you're sharing with a group of people who love evangelism. For me, the lesson I learned, and I feel quite bad about, and makes me reflect from time to time, is in the city of Villahermosa, there are 2 conferences, now becoming 3. And Villahermosa has a population of 500,000. It's just a little bit bigger than Belfast. It has 16,000 Adventists in a city of 500,000, and they are not happy. They have a plan that they want a church in walking distance of everybody who lives in their state. And we think we're doing okay to have one, or wow, Dublin has 4 churches. They have over 500 churches in that one city, and they want to plant more and more and more. And when you're around people like that who just love evangelism, who want to have small churches that are focused on pathfinders and evangelism, that's all they do, really. They don't get involved in other controversies or conflict. They don't argue about styles of worship. At least I didn't see that. But they were just so focused on, let's start a new church. Let's invite our friends to come.
So, Stephen, I know that when you preach and when you preach with confidence, you preach with joy. But you don't just want to be a preacher on your own or teach on your own. You'd like others to join you, wouldn't you?
Yeah. One of the agreements for this trip was that although I'm the only Irish one coming this time, that we should send an Irish group on a mission trip like this. It's a really easy to do. They give you an app on your iPad or on your computer, and you can just, if you want to, just click through the sermons. You don't have to be like Mark and remember everything off by heart and have that dynamism. You can just stand in front of your computer and preach if you want. Everything is prepared for you. The church is prepared for you. They teach you more than you teach them. But when you go as a group, we had 25 in our little group, the North England Conference I joined with. Every morning as we went over the sermons together, and every night as we came back and we ate tacos and talked about how the day had been, we had just an amazing, encouraging experience. And this is what we want for the church in Ireland, that a group from Ireland can go, have this experience in a new culture, a new country, share the gospel message, and then when they come back, not only be enthusiastic, but have partners, friends who have been on the same journey with you to share and encourage you. So when you go back to Galway or Sligo or Larne, that you'll be able to have confidence because you know you have some friends supporting you.
Stephen, thank you for sharing it. So if anybody is interested, what should they do?
We have a couple of options and a couple of dates, which we will decide all of the details in the end of November. But for now, I would be really interested in finding anyone who would like to be part of a project like this. I'd like to get your opinion on certain questions we have, and I'd like to just start a conversation. We will do official invitations throughout the Irish Mission later on in the year, but for now, if you're interested, if this sounds like something you would love to do, or you would like to encourage one of your children to do, or a church member you would like to support to do this, please come and have a chat with me. Like I said, we have a few decisions to make, whether we go to the Philippines or South Africa or to Latin America or what time of the year. So just please come and talk to me. Let me know you're interested, and we'll keep you up to date, and we'll start the conversation now.
Thank you, Stephen. Most appreciated. God bless you. Mums and dads, another gracious reminder.